memories away, nice and slow. Your laughter ripples like sweet warm wine. In this jazzy sultry space you're mine. The saxophone croons a velvet tune, while melodies dance beneath the moon. We'll toast to moments both grand and small, in this hazy, lazy, jazz-touched hall. Let's sit together in the mellow night. We'll drink to love till the morning light. Every glass we raise a promise true. Here's to the magic in a drink with you. Your eyes, they sparkle with every click. Sweet rendezvous over a simple drink. We'll share our secrets in whispers low, just you and me where the jazz flows slow. The world outside fades into the mist, but here it's our own dreamy tryst. With each sip our worries drift away. Let's stay together till the break of day. So let's sit together in the mellow night. We'll drink to love till the morning light. Every glass we raise a promise true. Here's to the magic in a drink with you.
Salute. Oh, let me. Whoops. Let's change this around a little bit. There we go. I did not do a opening monologue today. I want to jump right into it because we have a very special guest, James Rekart. We're going to introduce you to the chat in just a second. But let me first start by saying hi to the regulars. As we usually do. Aged Boomer, my designated driver. How are you doing, my friend, and what are you sipping on tonight?
I'm doing okay, suffering from a bit of an allergy today, but I have a Coca-Cola Classic, so that's good.
Good. Do you take anything for your allergies, an antihistamine or something like that?
Sometimes Benadryl. I use some of that, the Flonase, the stuff you just, stick up your nose and couple squirts and you're good to go, right? I don't know.
Yeah, be careful with that stuff. You can get addicted to that, and then it stops.
Really? Well, I've only used it twice, so that's good. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a whole stream on it on Wendigo's channel. Go check it out.
Wendigo.
Wendigo.
Yeah.
I've heard people complain about it.
It's actually pretty well known. I would actually talk to your doctor about it.
The doctor's what recommended it, so okay. Well, maybe I get a second opinion. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Fair enough. And Netter, how you doing? And what are you sipping on?
I'm doing pretty well. It's Friday, so my work week is over, and I am currently sipping on a Netter's Nectar. It is my Malibu rum, along with pomegranate.
Pomegranate juice. Awesome. And our very special guest tonight, James Rekart. All around, does everything in Hollywood. How are you doing, sir? And what, if anything, are you sipping on? James, you hearing me? Can you hear me, James? Okay, maybe you cannot hear me. Oh? Okay, James, we're going to get back to you after I say hi to the chat. If you have YouTube open, make sure you mute YouTube. You should be hearing us through StreamYard right now. Let me say, yes, Evie Months. I'm sorry. Yes, I forgot. We don't use StreamYard anymore. Let me real quick say hi to the chat, starting with FKHC 2005, whom we lovingly call Tim, who says, get on with it. Welcome.
82 minutes before the stream started.
82 minutes ago. He may not even be here now. Who knows? Yes. Connie Cleary says, hail to the chat. Welcome, Connie Cleary, the bird woman of YouTube. Always good to see you. Big Al says, back from Sherwood Forest. Have a great stream, my friend. Thank you for not keeping Age of Boomer out too late. I kind of need him to get through this stream. My question, and this is Curtis Selby. Make sure you're following him on his new channel, Nothing to See Here Citizen. My question is he Joe Tribbiani's hand twin? I don't know. We will ask him about that in just a moment. Deleted Scenes. Salute, my friend. Good to see you. There's Netter calling me the love of her life. I love you too, sweetie.
Je t'aime, mon amour.
Ditto. Orville Nation, PJ, how you doing? Good to see you. PJ is actually the one who introduced me to this guy right over here. Let's see. We got Mark Dahley. Greetings from the Panhandle of Florida, aka South Georgia. Hey, so he's not too far from where you are at, Boomer. I didn't know.
Oh, great.
That. Usarn G. Good to see you, my friend. Salute. A lot of guys saying hi to each other. That's always good to see. JPRPH1 dropping those membership emojis. Thank you so much, my friend. Deleted Scenes. Yep. I said hi to Mark Dahley. Wow, a lot of chatting going on here. I can get through them really, really quick. Mark Dahley says he just finished an iced lemonade. Grabbing another. There you go.
That's nice.
Yeah, you're about midway down the Wang. Am I right, Mark Dahley? Age of Boomer? He doesn't like it when I call it the Wang.
Southwest.
You're Southwest.
Correct. I cannot hear Troy.
Oh, okay.
Are you muted?
Well, I am not muted, and I know that the channel is hearing me, so give me just a second here, and I will help him troubleshoot that. Yes, here is Curtis Selby's new channel. So let us address the situation here. James, what do I need to do so that you can hear me? I am going to. What do I have to do? I am going to send him a message on X. James, do you have any headphones?
Maybe headphones.
Oh, let me try something.
Let me. James, can you hear me? Okay, so now
what's happening is we're coming through your open speakers. So yeah, I need you to put on some headphones or something like that. I'm talking and I know he can't hear me now because I'm not hearing myself echoing back.
Yeah, and after I said, can you hear me, I was like, duh, we're using the same microphone. If he can't hear you, he can't hear me.
Florida is a gun. You slide the clip in the Everglades, cock it in Jacksonville, pull the trigger at Tallahassee, and the bullet comes out Pensacola. A geography lesson I get my kids to listen to. That's actually kind of brilliant, Mark Dahley.
I wish we could thumbs up comments because that's
That
awesome.
is the kind of thing I want to send to Brandon Herrera. Let me tell you.
Did you know?
A meme. Ooh, Mark Dahley, if you could make a meme out of that and share that with me, we can send it to Brandon Herrera. He's getting headphones right now. I think I can hear it.
Ash from the Evil Dead, his goal in life was to move to Jacksonville. Did you know that?
I did not, but I've been to Jacksonville. It's not a bad place.
It's kind of a joke. It's like It's fine, but it's still just Jacksonville. You know, it's like
I think I've told you this before, Boomer. I love Florida, but that heat. I don't think I could get through
it's been
a
really
summer.
bad than last week. Heat wave is already here. We're
Yeah.
in summer.
Netter and I were just down there. Well, we visited you in what was that? March?
It's not.
February?
No, it was
March.
wasn't
early.
March.
It was still what you'd consider winter
It was
weather.
late January, early February. I'm
Yeah.
not sure which. Yeah.
Yeah. Mark Daly says, thanks, Troy. If only I knew how to read. Well, you know, there you go. And Maria with T and Telly. Hi,
Hi,
Maria. How you
sister.
doing? Good to see you.
Where do you plug
Yes.
them in yet?
I don't know. It's you plug it into the computer. You should have an output for your sound.
Yeah, Boomer, tell him he should have an output for his sound to plug it into because he can't
Why are
hear
you
us.
telling Boomer? Boomer can't tell him any more than we can.
Because he can't hear you and me, but he can probably.
Oh,
hear
I
you.
see. Yes.
Wow.
Oh, if you can hear me. Yeah. See if there's an output for the sound. It would either be if you have like USB headphones, you'd plug it into the USB jack. If unless they're old-fashioned, like the old-fashioned plug, just plug them in. Your computer should bring up a
I
prompt.
think PJ's also trying to help him behind the scenes.
Gotcha. Anyway,
This happens, folks.
it's okay.
We'll see what we can do to get this worked out very, very soon.
Because I really want to ask about streaming, if I'm allowed. Just saying.
You can ask whatever you want. Hey,
I-
after all this, I don't know. I didn't know James was black. Yeah, black screen. Exactly. Oh, Maria, you're crazy. I think I'm pretty sure. I'm 99% sure that PJ is on the phone trying to help him out.
Well, we have another visitor to your channel, Coon as Kevin. Yeah.
Hello,
eating
everybody.
homemade brownies and cold milk.
Yes. I recognize that icon. You change your name from time to time. Welcome. It's always good to see you. Let me ask you this. You said cold milk? We talking like 1%, 2% skim whole milk? All are good. I'm just curious. Different strokes for different folks. I usually get skim milk because it seems to stay fresher longer. But if I ever am using it in a recipe that requires whole milk, I will add a little bit of cream to the recipe. 2%. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, whole milk, it's just a little thick for me, you know. And like I say, you only need the milk fat, in my opinion, when you're baking with it. That's why I'll add a little bit of cream to a recipe. Skim milk, let me tell you something. Skim milk, you want skim milk that will keep in your refrigerator for months? Go with a lactose-free milk. It's the lactose that goes bad before anything else does.
Yeah, what's the brand name of the? Oh, we use Fairlife.
Fairlife, yeah.
Yeah.
And a happy Friday to you as well, Daniel Barry. Good to see you, my friend. Always good. And please, folks, make sure you hit that thumbs up. You know, it really does encourage me. Lets me know that you enjoy what I do here. And it helps combat the trolls that are trying to ratio this channel. It really is happening.
Say no to trolls.
Say no to... Well, you know, unless they pay the toll to troll. That's what I always say. Yes, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, become a member, because honestly, it's the only way I can keep doing what we do here. So did everyone buy the Nintendo 2 Switch? Well, it's funny you mention that because I just got a video shared with me by this guy right here talking about... Oh, he's back. Hold on a second. Remove. And then let's try that again. Are we coming through? Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear anything there?
Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to bring that back up again.
Just lost you.
All right.
Hold on a second. Okay, I got you here twice. I think this one needs to go.
I feel like those commercials. Can you hear me now? Remember that?
Yeah, exactly. I remember that.
That was the early days of cell phones. I remember that.
Real quick, I want to say thank you so much to Geek Flag with Nate Knows. He says, hi, Troy, Netter, and Boomer, and welcome to James. Yep, James is having a little bit of difficulty right now. We'll get him in.
We'll get through it. As far as the Switch 2 goes, though, we were saying.
Yes, so you sent me a video. Was that from that was Smash JT?
Yeah, him and his son were talking.
He was doing
about
an unboxing
yes,
of it,
yes.
and it was the most adorable thing.
Yes.
Him and his son. He's trying to do, the streamer thing and thanking people for the gifted memberships and the super chats and stuff, and he's obviously coaching his son in the protocol for streaming and so forth. It was really kind of sweet. They didn't get into any actual gameplay or anything, but they did bring up the screens and were showing the interaction. I guess he liked the fact that it was slightly larger than the previous iteration.
It's larger, yes.
And of course, I want to say bonsoir to Nate.
Yep.
He gave a $2 super chat.
Yes, he did.
Saying hi, Troy, Netter, Boomer, and welcome, James.
Thank you.
Maria is following the stream from her phone, so she can't necessarily.
She's with Mama Telly. Give Mama Telly a big hug for me.
But yes, show all the love to Mama Telly. Let her know we appreciate her. If for no other reason than she provided the world with the lovely and talented Maria of Tia Telly. Make sure you check out her channel. I believe she is going places. And she has some great content there. She occasionally has a beautiful assistant offer some content on her channel as well.
Is there tea drinking on Tea and Telly? No.
There has been.
Okay, there has been.
She's done a stream or two, or at least a video or two about. But Tea and Telly are, I believe they are references to her kitty cats.
Oh, I see.
Their names aren't T and Telly.
They're not?
No.
I thought that with Tea and Telly meant her cats. Okay, maybe I misunderstood. Okay. Netter would know better than I would. She's intimately involved with the channel. Oh, stop. Mama said hello and hugs back. Good. Are you able to share the stream with her? Can she hear us? I am with Netter's help and a little bit of indirect prompting from Mark Melnikoff's wife. I am getting properly chastised in my use of blue language. Not to mention the times that the stream gets demonetized because YouTube doesn't think a naughty word merits ad revenue, apparently. So I am trying to make the stream more friendly to general audiences. I have you up on the big screen. Oh my gosh, you can see all the pores. We're watching you on the TV. There we go. James, can you hear me? Hello. You froze.
Can you hear me?
I thought I heard something there. And he's gone again.
Okay.
I
feel like this is a Doctor Who or like a Star Trek Next Generation episode where someone's phasing in and out, like.
Breaking news, George Clooney just got nominated for Best Actor for his new film, Good Night and Good Luck.
That's
are we
old.
in some sort of
Time vortex?
No, I was gonna say, I didn't think this was a award season.
Plus, that's an old movie.
Oh, is it? Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know. I've been watching some old episodes of Star Trek: The Next Generation the last couple days.
Did you, by chance, see the most recent Doomcock video about Star Trek?
I have not.
I shared it on the...
I will look for it.
Well, I shared it on the Carton the Klingon Cleric page.
All right, I'll look for it.
I should probably share it on the last call page, but he basically said that he's had a lot of rumors he's been sitting on that he could not confirm, and that just sounds so bizarre to him. He has a hard time believing them. So he's saying, I am not saying these are true. I am saying this is what I've heard, and you can suffer with me in my confusion. But what he was basically getting at was that apparently the current presidential administration is taking interest in specifically Star Trek. Now, obviously, this ties into the Paramount CBS merger and the lawsuit that the administration currently has with CBS. So that kind of makes sense. And as bizarre as it seems that the president would care about Star Trek specifically, knowing what I do about the current president, I know not to take anything he does or says strictly at face value. It's usually a negotiation tactic. So I really believe that... so let me make sure I'm understanding you, PJ. You're saying, yes, you do think that the news from Doomcock is true? It definitely has a ring of truth, and I was getting to it. Yeah, it's all about disclosure. Yeah. Oh, that's a great point. I forgot. Because there is a lawsuit going on, there is stuff that's going to start coming up in this lawsuit that I think the president is wise to get ahead of, and CBS is way behind on. So I am very hopeful. This is definitely a win-lose scenario for Star Trek. Florence Pugh is the new favorite actress right now. Okay.
She's done a lot of stuff.
Who is that? I don't know her. I don't know current actors very well.
If you watch, did you watch Dune Part 2?
I have not. I have it on DVD.
Okay, she's the Emperor's daughter in Dune Part 2. She was in Oppenheimer. I'm trying to think what else. She was Black Widow's sister in the Black Widow spin-off movie. So these are all movies you haven't seen. I don't think that's the problem. British actress.
Well, this is interesting. U.S. Space Force, you can tell that was going to end up as a copyright lawsuit. That's interesting, Jesse. I'm not sure that the government would push a copyright lawsuit, but then again, we live in a time where...
Or is it a copyright lawsuit against them for the Space Force symbol?
The Space Force symbol predates Star Trek. I think I've looked into that before, but yeah, that would be a very strange one.
Plus, they didn't bring it up until now anyway. They could have brought it up years ago.
There are statutes of limitations on such things. You're absolutely right. Man, this is why I got you here as my designated driver. You think about these things.
I do. Well, I think about, like, I watched the episode Deja.
So, what I'm hearing here, Mark Dahley, is I need to see Oppenheimer pretty damn soon. Okay. Never has stepped away from the computer, by the way. So
there's an awkward scene with Emily Blunt looking at her husband in one part of the movie. That's all I'm going to say about that.
I like Emily Blunt. I know. Emily Blunt.
Yeah, she's the...
She should have been Sue Storm, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know if you're hearing me. Nod yes or no if you can hear me, because I'm not hearing you now.
Nod yes or no if you can hear me.
Yes? No? Yes? No? No. And it looks like he froze, too.
Okay. Maybe it's an internet issue where he's at.
I feel like we'd get pixelation and slow.
Well, maybe.
Slow if that was the case. So Star Trek sue the government for copyright. Yeah, that would be an interesting one. I would think Roddenberry would be honored but maybe I'm well. But let's face it, Roddenberry's not even yeah, that's right. Such a thing would have had to have happened years ago. The Space Force is much older than most people realize.
Beer bread.
I have a piece of beer bread that Netter has brought me. It's literally a very simple bread mix that uses no yeast. It uses beer as its leavener. And I'm going to give it a try right now. Usually, I very much like the beer bread she makes. Oh, that's good. That is good.
What does it taste like?
So, I mean, it tastes like bread. It's very much a hearty, very
Spongy.
mouthfeel. Yeah, it's a dense bread. I probably would not use this for sandwiches. I would use this as your, as you probably would, like if you were doing a garlic bread or something like.
Oh.
This is really, really good. Yeah.
Does it need butter, or is it good by itself?
Well, she's got butter on it, but I'm sure it would be fine without it. It's actually made with a lot of butter, so it's got a buttery flavor to begin with.
What about beer cheese?
Oh, is that the spread stuff?
Yes.
I've had that before. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
People usually use it for pretzels. I didn't know, but yeah.
And I'm gonna sound like the crazy American, but I happen to be one who likes what is it called? Marmite, I think they call it in the UK, and Vegemite in Australia. It's basically the same thing. It's the sediment at the bottom of the barrel after you make beer, and it's a thick, yeasty kind of very, very strong flavor. They spread it on bread and crackers. Very, very little. You don't want to use too much. I like it, but it's a very much an acquired taste. You've got to like that kind of flavor. Let me back up here because I missed some comments. People are talking about Emily Blunt. I thought the suit was about 60 minutes. Editing the... Yes, it is. That's the primary issue, but there's also the... at the risk of sounding like I'm taking the other side on this, the weaponization of the regulatory commission, but I think that's overstating it. I think it's the appropriate use. That's what the regulation commission is supposed to do. So that's a whole other thing. I might talk about this a little bit next week on Liquid Lunch. Emily Blunt as Sue Storm, F no, and I like Emily Blunt. Well, think about it this way, Nate. Emily Blunt, because her husband should be the one playing Reed Richards.
Yeah, John Krasinski. That's what everyone was thinking.
Look, I don't really care what anyone is saying about Fantastic Four now. I was out as soon as they said that they were not casting Krasinski, and they decided to give us The Mandalorian. I said, screw that, I'm done. I'm out. And it would have been awesome to have Emily Blunt. If you think about all the other actresses that have played her, if you can accept Jessica Alba, then you should be able to accept Emily Blunt for sure. I would be down with that. What did Curtis Selby say? Let's do a watch party of Oppenheimer on my new channel. I would love to see that. All right.
I can hear Troy.
Boom!
Can you hear
there
me?
We go, and we can hear you. We can hear you, guys. I'm going to suspend the Fantastic Four chat because I want to get to our guest. He has fought technology and he has fought the internet just to be here tonight, and we are so thankful. So, James Rekart, how are you doing, and what are you sipping on, if anything?
Well, if I'm sipping on anything, it's Starbucks coffee, cold Starbucks coffee. So, cheers.
When you say Starbucks coffee, does that mean you bought it at Starbucks in a cup and poured it into a mug, or you bought the grounds and you made it at home? we just lost you again. You've gone silent on us again.
Can you hear
double
us?
check your microphone. Congrats, James. You figured out live streaming before I did. Yeah, Mark Dahley, I think all of us have gone through issues like this.
Sure.
It's absolutely rough. Try again, James. No, you're coming through silent.
It's like, once we can hear him and he can hear us, don't move.
Right. Yeah, if we can hear you, don't move. But yeah, I think he's hearing us. Yep, he says, wait a second. He thinks he knows what's going on. Okay. Yeah.
Usually with me, it's me going on a diatribe for 2 minutes and then realizing I got disconnected from the internet. That's usually what happened.
Normally, I don't eat on stream, folks. You all know this, but Netta brought me this bread. It's so good. And, it kind of serves as a booze sponge. I think a beer bread goes well with whiskey. I think it does.
Oh, it's absolutely a booze sponge. That's why I gave you 2 pieces.
It's yummy. So excuse me for speaking with my mouth full.
I was eating crackers before the stream.
Oh, that's good.
Club crackers.
Just plain crackers?
Club crackers.
Club crackers, so that buttery flavor.
Yes,
I get it.
I like those.
See, I can eat on stream and nobody can see me.
That's true. You're not on camera, so you can get away with it.
Yeah, but I want to chew. I try not to chew into the mic, though I've done it on occasion.
That's an interesting thought. Orville Nation says man hands should just use his hands to sign. If we get the opportunity, we'll ask him if he knows sign language at all. That might be a good idea.
So anyway, the episode of Star Trek. Oh, yep. Wait, I can hear you.
I can hear you.
There we go.
No.
There we go. And he's gone again. Wait a minute. That was my fault. There we go.
I don't think it's the mic.
We heard you there for a moment.
Heard you there for a moment too. Yep.
And then you're gone. Something happened. Just finished eating McDonald's double meat quarter pounder. Oh God, I used to love those double quarter pounders. Oh, those were good. In theory, that's a half pound of beef. That's wonderful. Speaking of, there was a marketing thing. They tried doing a 1/3 pound burger before they did the double quarter pounder. And it didn't sell well because people thought it was smaller than a quarter pounder because 3 was smaller than 4. That really hurts my heart, All right. I can hear something.
Testing 1, 2.
I hear you.
Bingo. Sounds good.
Earth to space rocket Mars.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us? Do you hear us? Testing 1, 2, 3. You're not hearing us. So do we get the option? We hear you, but you don't hear us. Is that how it works?
Yeah, it feels like it's one or the other. Hold on. Can you hear us?
Gosh darn.
That's okay. You know what? If we get through this whole stream, and he's probably getting a call from PJ, I'll betcha. If we get through this entire stream and we're not able to actually chat with James, I'm sure we will have him back on again. Not next week. Just to let you all know, next week I've already got a guest lined up. A very, very gracious YouTuber.
If we can't get him do this today, then next Thursday he could be on my channel.
Yes.
We
next week, and I don't know if I don't think I've even mentioned this to you yet, Boomer.
What?
Next week, I am going to be returning the favor to a very kind YouTuber who had me on his channel last week. Stark of Iron is going to be joining us. And he gave me a lot of great tips for streaming and kind of raising the professional level of this channel, because clearly I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm just kind of winging it, and he's going to try and help me out a little bit. I want to help him out because together we grow, right?
Together we grow.
You can see him on the screen, but we can hear him over the phone. Yeah. That's why I just took him out of the stream, because I didn't. If he has a private conversation, I don't want that going out over the airwaves. Okay, and I don't know this one. Oh, John Redcorn of King of the Hill. We will be. We'll address that on Sunday. There's a lot to that story.
There's a lot to that story. Yes.
It's. You've looked into it, Boomer?
No, but it
Okay.
seems like there's it's more than what maybe we initially thought. That's what the impression I'm getting.
Just a little tease. He clearly was having some issues. He showed up at a convention that he was not invited to.
Oh.
And created a bit of a scene. And it does seem that there might be some have been some mental health issues going on there. So whatever issues he had with his neighbor, 99% certain there was a relationship there. So, but we will talk more about that on Sunday. It's a shame. But that's why we're going to treat it as a news article rather than an in memoriam. I think we really need to get to the bottom of that. And I mean, I'm going to share with the chat, Boomer, because this is kind of a peek behind the curtain of what we do, and that's we get a lot of people now recommending, this celebrity died, and I look at him and I go, who? I mean, we kind of have to, between the two of us, decide, does this rise to the level of an in memoriam? And some of them have hit me like, Christine McVie. When that happened, I was devastated. So I put together this whole thing that I wanted to say about her. I almost dedicated the whole show to her. There will be others. Olivia Newton-John hit me like a friggin' ton of bricks.
It's hard to believe she's gone too. Even now, I don't quite accept it. But yeah, I guess she is. Yeah.
What bothered me the most is, I'd been kind of struggling because right from the beginning, as soon as she went public with her breast cancer,
right.
I that was many years ago. She. To the day she died, was considered to be a breast cancer survivor. But you never really cure cancer, you just treat it.
Right.
And you can have a long life battling cancer, but eventually, what do the doctors say? They say if nothing else kills you, eventually a form of cancer will,
It's rough.
It's going to have AI. Is that real? Is that really true? They're going to replace John Redcorn with AI. On the one hand, I don't see a huge issue with that when someone dies, replacing their voice. But at the same time, from an industry standpoint, if they're not recasting and they're instead switching to AI, that could be an issue. I'm getting way too much practice at my 3-line eulogy posts. Yeah, sorry about that. That's kind of how I feel about Geeky Geezers. I do clips from Geeky Geezers as standalone videos, and unfortunately, the in memoriams get the most traction. And I'm like, I feel weird about that. But at the same time, that's kind of why the in memoriam exists. Because I feel like we need to get the message out there to honor people. Especially, there's a couple that Boomer and I have shared that may not have been someone you knew, but we're like, I bet you know them. I bet you know that face. I bet they look familiar to you. Those character actors that you've seen in so many TV and movies. And you go, oh yeah, But the names that you oftentimes forget the name, but you know the face, right?
We lost Loretta Swit recently. Yes.
Can't get my head around the fact that Rutger Hauer is dead. Yeah, I know. I thought he would outlive me. Absolutely true.
Shatner is still with us, though.
Looks like Lilo and Stitch ticks are sales are climbing. Because what competition does it have? Excuse me,
That's fine. Am I live?
This is why I don't normally eat on stream. I'm choking.
Oh,
Don't talk with your mouth full. This is why your mom says that. I also can't get my head around the fact. Oh yeah, we said that about Rutger Hauer. How we doing, James? Didn't react, so I'm guessing he doesn't hear me. Oh, he doesn't have his headphones on, so of course he's not going to hear me. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, because I'm not hearing you. And you're gone. You went black on me. Troy was... Wait, I don't remember him talking much. Just sneaking out of the Dale's window. Troy, it was... messed up. The actor for John Redcorn wasn't brought back for the new season, and he confronted the creator of the show on a Comic-Con. That's true, but the problem is that is incredibly unprofessional. At the very least, that's bad form. That is not how you handle problems like that. That is a great way to drive your fans away. So
I don't know, man. It's weird times in the entertainment industry these days.
I do think mental health is an issue that definitely needs to be addressed, and a big part of that is being prepared to, excuse me, to recognize mental health and not affirm it, but to treat it. There you go. I see you. I see you. I see you. I see you. But I'm not hearing you. Are you hearing me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Because I can see
can you hear
but
me?
I can't hear you. No?
No.
Hello? Testing 1, 2, 3. James? Hello? 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 Okay, sounds like there's still something going on there, James. You gonna give it another try?
He wants me to try it on his phone, maybe?
Try it.
I don't know.
Birdman's
I don't have my
Bird.
phone.
No.
phone.
No. I think maybe he said he's gonna try streaming through his phone and talking to you that way.
I don't know, but either way, I need to have my phone in case he does call me. I think he has my number.
Okay.
If he doesn't, PJ can provide that to him.
I'm just saying, Birdman would always do his streams through his phone, so it's not impossible to do that.
Exactly right. But what I was getting at is we have a mental health crisis, and unfortunately, social media is not helping that at all. And what's even worse is that the mental health practitioners that are supposed to be helping people with these problems are not doing so. They are bowing to politics over science, and that is a serious problem. Oh, got a call from my doctor. I probably have to give her a call back about my test results.
Huh, I didn't get one.
She is probably going to give me the riot act about my lipids and cholesterol. Orville says he's going to call me. Okay.
I hear a phone.
Yep. Hey, James, how you doing? No, I did not order a pizza, but that actually does sound pretty good. How you doing?
Pepperoni
It really
pizza.
is, and what you've been unable to hear is obviously, it's like, can you hear me? Can you see me? We can see you, but we can't hear you. If it doesn't work out tonight, we can always do this again if you're available in 2 weeks. Or we could bring you back on a Thursday night for a Netter's channel. But I absolutely understand. Yeah, we've got to work this out so that you can be on camera and that you can hear and see us. And what we might want to do maybe is set up a time and
Just put him on speaker. We could talk that way.
well, I thought about that too, but I think what we probably want to do is get this worked out. And now you got Jesse Guajardo going, pizza. Yeah, that actually does sound good. Maybe I'll
I
order
could
a
go
pizza
for
tonight.
like a pizzeria style pepperoni pizza right now. That'd hit the spot. It really would.
You're no longer invited back to my channel, James. No, I'm kidding. He just suggested pineapple pizza. Well,
Oh my goodness.
we got to give him some grace. He is out there on the left coast, and they got weird ideas about pizza out there.
Yeah, it was all in Stranger Things, the Hawaiian pizza, remember?
That absolutely is true. And look, if you're in Hawaii or in the Pacific Islands, I can give you a lot of grace on that because spam is king there. But anyway, yeah, if you can't get on tonight, that's fine. Let's talk offline. I will get you back on in 2 weeks. In the meantime, we'll try to get you on Netter's channel let's say next Thursday. And if we need to, we'll set up do you already have someone next Thursday?
No.
Okay. And before then, we'll see if we can't just set up a private stream to just work out the technical issues, the camera and the mic and the headphones and whatnot. We'll figure it out. Actually, every person in my chat right now who has streamed has complete empathy. They've been through all this before. Boomer and myself have gone through this. It's Netter has a benefit because I'm literally right here. I can look over her shoulder and help her troubleshoot. But other than that, it's very hard to do these things remotely.
Cool.
That makes sense. He says pineapples are originally from the Caribbean. That makes absolute sense. But they're at the same latitude as Hawaii, so I could totally see them migrating to Hawaii and being cultivated there. That makes sense.
Inspirational, enterprising people in like the 1800s raided a plantation in the Caribbean and took little baby pineapples to Hawaii and started the pineapple industry over there.
There you go.
Oh.
There you go. So right now I've got you on speaker and I'm holding you underneath my microphone so they can kind of hear you. No, it's not going to work. There's really nothing that's going to support it. If holding it is. Orville Nation says sounds okay. Try. Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and hold the mic up like this the whole time. But anyway, James,
See if it'll stay.
it will not. It is the screen is too thin to support it, and you know it's going to fall. So
I was using Mozilla Firefox. Should I abandon that and use?
I didn't even think about that. Yes, I have terrible issues with Firefox. Take the same link, drop it into Google, and let's give that a try.
Chrome, yeah.
Yeah, Google Chrome. Right, exactly.
I don't have that in here, I don't think.
I'm actually surprised. Google Chrome I thought was like pretty standard.
Yeah.
You usually start with Google Chrome and then you download Firefox.
Yeah, I do have Google Chrome in here.
Yep, go ahead to go to Google Chrome and use the same link to come into the studio, and then try that. That should work a lot better. I didn't even think about that. I literally you'll notice, and I think my chat knows that this happens to me too. I will start a stream accidentally in Firefox, and then everyone will say, "I can't hear you. I can't hear you. You're roboting in and out," and I'll go, "Oh, I'm in Firefox. Sorry," and then I'll drop out and come back in.
Should I be trying to do this now?
Yeah, go ahead. Give it a try. Why not?
Continue with Google.
Yep. Mark Dahley, can you bring that up? Mark Dahley says Firefox only works if you can think in Russian. That's funny.
Remember Netscape?
But if you like potatoes and sour cream, does that count?
I would think so. Sure. Why not? Jesse Guajardo says, but I do love Little Caesars pizza. Half pizza slices, half cheeseburger. Oh, gosh. I haven't talked about this on stream before, but one of my first jobs was working for Little Caesar. And honestly, walking into a Little Caesar now, the smell in the place is just heaven. It just takes me back. The pizza tastes pretty much the same, but they've got all kinds of different stuff on their menu that they didn't have when I was a kid.
They have the puffs now.
Yeah, I've never had that before. They used to have pizzas. They used to have sandwiches. They used to have calzones. I think they got rid of a lot of that stuff. They've also got all kinds of different weird sauces. So I don't know. So here's the thing about Firefox. It's a good option to have when you're watching YouTube videos. Shall we say, if you are trying to avoid interruptions? Just saying. And I know, for a YouTuber who is monetized, to suggest such a thing might sound counterintuitive, but we all know that the ad revenue that we receive is literally pennies. I don't give an F about their ad revenue, for crying out loud. That you can't live on that. You just can't. So I don't care. If you guys are watching me right now and avoiding the interruptions, good on you. Just maybe consider dropping a super chat every now and again to help me out. I'll tell you what, you drop one $2 super chat right now, and you will have more than offset what I would make in ad revenue from you for the whole year. I kid you not. So I am going to blow your mind, although this might not be a huge shock to anyone. Caesar's Crazy Bread is the bomb. The founder of Little Caesar also owned the Detroit Tigers and the Red Wings. Now that part I didn't know.
Huh.
Do you know what Crazy Bread is?
No.
Boomer. Okay.
Oh, it was something to do with the pizza dough, correct?
Yes, it exactly is. So we would make the dough fresh in the store, right? And you would weigh out the balls of dough, put them into pans, and let them rest. And then when someone called and said, I want a medium, a large, or whatever, or we needed, some for to go, we'd pat them out and make them. If they sat for more than, I don't remember how much time, if it was an hour or 3 hours, we had times written on all of them, and we'd have to rotate them. When they were done, we would prepare them as Crazy Bread. We'd cut them, we'd throw them through, and that was the Crazy Bread. That's how that was made. Don't freak out about that. It's not like the bread had gone bad. It's not like it was from the day before or last week.
Right.
Like that. It was just a couple hours old, and we didn't want to use it anymore for pizza. We just started making crazy, because the Crazy Bread just went. It just went. Troy,
Popular.
I remember Little Caesars Pizza having spaghetti on the menu. That one I don't remember. Oh, wait a minute.
I don't remember.
I take that back. Yes, They had pizza when pizza. They had pasta on the menu when I was there, and it almost never sold. That's why I so easily forget about it.
Didn't
More often
McDonald's
than not, there was an antipasta salad that we had. That sometimes sold.
Didn't
We have a local
McDonald's
place
have
here called Munchie Pizza. Okay, that's in Florida.
Did McDonald's have spaghetti at one point on the menu?
McDonald's tries all kinds of crazy things. It's a bread made with the little Joker. Crazy bread. I get it. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat there, Mark Dahley. I probably owe you for my hookers and strippers joke a couple weeks back. No, jokes like that pay for themselves, but I do appreciate it. Let's try that again. How's that going there for you?
Oh,
Okay.
I can hear him.
You can hear and see. You are a little bit choppy, but
I can hear him on the.
You are hearing me, right? And we lost you again.
You're good.
Okay, I am hearing some feedback. So am I coming through something other than your headphones?
Is anything happening?
I can hear you.
Yeah, we hear you. Come
Hello?
back again, James. Gone. Back. Hello. How you doing?
Hello.
Can you hear us? You cannot hear us.
Negative.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I can't
hear
coach him
anything
through it because
Like him.
he
Can't
can't
hear
hear
anything
me.
there.
So if he can't hear me, he can't hear me.
Oh, boy.
If necessary,
back in.
I'm wondering
Try
if-
this again. Nope. It's like it pops in and out and then it goes away.
Huh.
Well, gosh darn it.
I'm going to call you again. Put you on speaker. There you go.
Oh.
There you go.
Hello?
Okay,
Hello?
can you hear me now?
Okay, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay, but you
can't
have me on
hear you.
speaker, so I am coming through your mic.
Your mic. Okay.
Okay. It's the mic on the iPad. You're coming through on the speaker on my phone,
Right, exactly.
Right, exactly.
and you're hearing me through my mic on the.
I'm hearing you
Okay.
through
I'm
both.
hearing you through both.
I'm hearing you on your mic,
you on
and
your
I'm
mic,
hearing you on
and
the
I'm
phone.
hearing you on the phone.
Oh, okay. I don't know how to shut one off.
Let's see. Let me
Let's
think
see.
this
Let me
through.
think this through.
You can mute one maybe?
Well, if he mutes the phone, he's not going to be able to
He's
hear
not
me.
going to be able to hear me.
I could send you a letter.
Here's what you're going to have to do, James. Take the phone off speaker, and you're going to have to listen, put it to your ear, like a regular phone call.
Like a phone. Fair enough.
This way we won't echo.
Okay, can you still hear me?
I can't.
Okay, so I am a little bit kind of coming through your mic, but it's very soft, so I think this will work.
Okay. Hi. Thank you for having me on your show.
Oh, of course, and I don't mind. And you're people in the chat, you're probably going to hear a little bit of bleed through of him on the speaker, because I don't want to take it off speaker. I want him to be able to hear me, but you might be hearing me twice as a result. Troy, tell James to try the first headset he had. I don't even want to mess anymore, Nate. Thank you, though, for the
And we can also do a redo on my channel on
We are
Thursday.
absolutely going to have you back, James. I think if nothing else, going forward, this is a skill that's worth having. We are moving into an era where I do believe that there is going to be more of this kind of online. You're going to have more interviews with other people, I think, going forward. So getting the experience is probably a worthwhile thing.
Well,
Delete
yes,
something. Why didn't I
it's
think of
always
that?
good to learn how to fix stuff.
Exactly right. Exactly right. So, you know what? Let's go ahead and jump into it, James. Do you want to let us know? I didn't want to focus too much on this, but I did want this to be our jumping off point. The touchstone is, I think, a lot of people. You on X, and by the way, links down below in the description for his IMDb and his X account. Make sure you're following him. You're branded on X as James Manhand's Rekart.
Yeah.
You want to go ahead and explain the man hands thing? I think the chat knows from the thumbnail, but if you want to kind of explain that.
Well, if you're a fan of Seinfeld, there's one episode where Jerry dates this beautiful blonde girl. Only she has one problem that really bothers him, and that is she has the hands of a man, and
Yep.
they're my hands. So,
Yes.
and he takes her out to dinner, and it's sort of a funny little scene while they're eating and stuff, and she's, they're cutting back and forth from my hands to her face and stuff, and she's just acting like everything's fine and normal, and Jerry's kind of like freaking out. But it's a funny episode. Supposedly, it's shows up as one of their more popular ones, I guess you'd say.
Mm-hmm.
I do have to say that everybody that I've talked to, letting them know, you were going to be on, and I mentioned the Man Hands episode, they were like, "Oh yeah, I know that episode. I know that episode." So you're right. It is the cultural touchstone. So and if you look at my thumbnail for tonight's video, you will see like a collage of his hands, from that scene, and of course. One of his promotional pictures for himself from his IMDb, where he's got his hand, against his chin, and you can see you've got manly hands. I get the impression of you from what we've talked about, James, behind the scenes. You're a man who's worked with his hands. Am I right?
Excuse me, I'm what?
You've worked with your hands. You're a working man who. Maybe you got some calluses on your hands. Am I right?
Yeah, I've got some scars. I got one scar. It's kind of it runs across the palm of my hand. It's probably about 3.5 inches long.
Sure.
And that was from I was opening a box, and I had a brand new box cutter blade in it.
I know where you're going with this. Yes. Oh man.
And I was 18. I was working at the furniture store, and that was an exciting afternoon. But,
I would imagine you need some stitches for that.
No, actually, it was really weird because actually we
rub some dirt on it and walk it off. You'll be fine.
Almost. We went. A couple of the warehouse guys. We jumped in their truck and we went down to the dock in the box. The urgent care, and
sure.
They gave me a shot of something, and they put the most stickiest tape in the world on it and just taped it shut.
Yep. So I can tell you exactly what they did. They gave you an antibiotic so it didn't get infected. And then these days they probably would have used, before they put anything else on it, they would have put liquid skin on it. But that tape does basically the same thing. You're literally taping it closed. So that it can heal, and you're gonna have a scar, but who cares, right? It's
just a line.
Exactly. What I wanted to ask, so of all the things that you do with your hands in that one episode, the one thing is breaking up a lobster.
You got
and
it.
honestly, I love lobster, but as I'm watching it, I'm like, that looks painful. Did you hurt yourself on the lobster?
Well, the lobster was dead, but he still got me.
I'm not surprised.
One of his spines stuck me, and I was like, and there's like the whole crew and extras and all these people in the restaurant pretending they're in the restaurant are there, right? And so I'm like, and right away, all these people were like, oh my God, he's bleeding. Oh my God, quick, somebody run out and get the nurse. And I'm like looking around like, who's bleeding? I'm like,
You didn't
uh,
realize you were bleeding. I see.
I knew there was a little bit of blood on my hand, but I'm thinking someone's actually bleeding, you know.
Yeah, I get you.
And so, these people come running up with, towels and stuff, and I'm like, no, I'm fine. We can keep going. We don't have to stop for 10 minutes or anything. We just keep going.
I'll
And
bet you there's
Jerry's,
probably legalities and stuff they were concerned about.
yeah, probably. So like Jerry's sitting across the way. I go, let's just keep shooting. Let's get this done. He's like, and he was like really happy to hear that. He goes, okay, good. So we just kept going, you know, and afterward, I'm like, you know, kind of like, I mean, like when I used to do construction, we'd be doing stuff, and
Yeah.
it'd be like stuff, and someone go, Jim, are you bleeding? I'm like, let me check. I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I don't
me.
want to leave red marks all over the wood. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to paint the house red here, So I have a very high pain tolerance, so it's just
I
like,
dig it. I dig it.
yeah, it's not
Maria with T and Telly says, please tell James I'm so happy to see him. I can't wait till he is ready to do more Francesca. Yes, you have done voice work for her, haven't you?
Oh,
right a little bit, yeah. Maria's really nice. Maria's a sweetheart.
I think we were involved. We did some work with you and her on one of her Francesca skits.
I believe that's true. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So speaking, and we're gonna start spiraling outward from here. You had a history with Jerry Seinfeld before that episode. How did you get to know him and thereby end up as Manhand, so to speak?
Well, I guess as a matter of just sheer coincidence, I was going to the James Best, who's better known as Roscoe P. Coltrane, Dukes of Hazzard.
oh,
I was going to the James Best Theater Center and taking acting classes and stuff. And meanwhile, this guy was sitting next to me for a couple months, and it was Jerry Seinfeld. And then he was there for a little while, and he went to New York and became the Jerry Seinfeld we all know and who became famous and stuff.
Yep.
And so when I went to this little audition thing for the hands, he was on the other side of this table, and I sort of reminded him of that. So I don't know whether that helped or not. Probably, I imagine. But he's like, oh yeah, I remember that class. I remember Jack Lucarelli and all these people. Yeah, So
well, if nothing, if he didn't remember you, he remembered the circumstance and knew you probably weren't making it up.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. That's true.
There you go. That's really awesome. Look, this is what it's all about. It's about networking, right? You know somebody from somewhere, and maybe that influenced you getting the job. Maybe it didn't. Who knows? Personally, part of me thinks even if that wasn't the case, you might have probably still gotten the job because your hands are just iconic. You are. So I'm going to share a little bit about James and I were talking last week, getting ready for this stream. James is just a down-to-earth kind of guy, salt of the earth. He's a working man. He's the kind of guy that if you hadn't seen some TV show that he'd been in, you'd never know he was in the entertainment industry. He's just a good guy, and but he's a guy who has worked all his life, and that's why his hands are the way they are. Actually, you have more manly hands than I do, I think. And I've worked my whole life too. Mostly
we got to get you a ball to squeeze so your hands are a little.
Yeah. Well,
muscular.
I mean, this strength this way, I'm strong at least in one hand anyway. But anyway, let's say hi to Adega Outlaw. Saying hi to Maria. Good evening, folks. Definitely make sure you're following Adega. He is an incredible storyteller, published author. Definitely want to be following him if you aren't. We're probably past due, Adega. We got to get you back on the channel. Definitely got to get you back on Netter's channel. Make sure you reach out to her. Would love to have you on Thursday things.
I want to say he's definitely a bright guy, and he's quite witty too.
He is. You're absolutely right. Yes, that's true. I kind of forget. James is for all the entertainment industry talk we're going to do tonight. James is also very clicked in with Maria and PJ and Adega and that whole community there. So he's one of us, is what I'm basically saying, guys. So James, you've actually been in the entertainment. I mean, you've been in the entertainment industry long before you were on Jerry Seinfeld. You want to tell us a little bit about how you came to Hollywood and how you came to be in TV and movies?
Well,
start from the very beginning. It's a great place to start.
Sometimes little kids get ideas in their heads, and I used to like this show with Robert Conrad. It was I thought it was a really exciting show. It was a Western. It was the Wild Wild West. And I used to watch that, and I was like,
that show. I love that show. Yes.
And one day I realized, the guys who were having the most fun on this, and I had no idea because I was like 9 or 8 or something.
Sure.
Are these guys called stuntmen? Those are the guys who are having the really the good fun. I didn't realize or know that they're actually like, getting bruised and breaking bones and stuff probably. But then I wanted to become a stuntman, so that was so I used to tie a towel around my neck and jump off the wall onto a mattress and all that stuff. And,
like Superman.
Yeah, like Superman. And coincidentally, the junior high school I went to, there were in Chatsworth, there were a bunch of kids whose dads were stuntmen.
Yep.
So I went over to one of them's house and I told Kim Kahana what I wanted to do, and he's like, he kind of like was interested. He goes, okay, well, when you're 18, come back and knock on my door and talk to me. So I did.
Yeah.
When I turned 18, it was like I didn't grow big enough to play, I'm only 6 foot tall, but I can when I run into you, I'll run into you as hard as I can. But but I just, when you're running into the guys at College of the Canyons and they're like 300 pounds and they're not even moving, it's kind of becomes more of a job.
I get it. Yeah.
So, I went over to his place and I talked to him, and he had a stunt school, so I enrolled in that. And, from there, all the guys in the school were like telling me I should try to do commercials and stuff. So I took some acting classes and stuff. And I don't know, I just found that to be the hardest thing in the world. It was just so challenging to do.
Really?
So really, really hard. I mean, like, I just found it like really, really completely hard to figure out how do you do this. And so, wow,
that's interesting. I wouldn't have expected that. Real quick, I wanted to point out that Curtis Selby says James is the original Colt Seavers. Yes, the fall guy. That's exactly what I was thinking when he was saying that.
That's kind of funny, because when I was at the at Kahana's stunt school, I had a '68 Camaro, and I had the idea that for like a personalized license plate, I should get Fall Guy, and I never did.
Right.
And then they came out with the TV show, and I was like, oh man, I could have sold it to him.
Do you still have that? Do you still have that '68 Camaro?
No, I wish I did.
Oh, that's too bad. My uncle has one. He had it completely refurbished. It's a convertible, and he loans it out to go to car shows and whatnot. Beautiful.
Is it the SS version or the Rally Sport or?
I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know. But good question. What were you saying, Netta?
Is he Joey Tribbiani's hand twin?
Someone
asked that earlier.
Somebody asked that. Have you ever done any work on the show Friends?
No.
Okay. So no. So the answer to that question is no. That's fair. That's fair. But you were on a show that my co-host really enjoys, X-Files. Am I correct?
Yes, I
Ooh.
did an X-Files. Yes.
Oh, which
Yeah, I
episode?
did it.
Do you remember the episode or what role you played?
Oh yeah, the episode is called Daemonicus,
Oh.
and I played a guy, a person that is really a demon, or it's a demon that's really a person. It's kind of written so that you can have to try to figure it out, you know. But my thing was he's either possessed by a demon, but he's really a person, and you know, just kind of. There's a little story with Autopsy where Scully comes in, and while we were shooting it, she had like scissors in her hands, and I'm laying there like I'm dead.
Oh, cool.
And she
gosh.
wasn't really paying attention, and she smacked me in the head. And she realized, yeah, she realized that I was a real person, and that she started laughing. Yeah,
I'm sure.
That's
I'm sure
funny.
there's got to be a lot of stories like that from behind the scenes. Those
Yeah.
little outtakes and whatnot. Some of them make them onto the DVDs occasionally.
I'm kind of curious.
Maybe.
Was like an
I
X-Files
don't
set
have it,
also?
but yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But that was like right around the 9/11 when that happened.
Oh.
And so, it was interesting to see them bring all the security to the, Fawkes Studios and really lock everything down, and everybody was just
there was
scared to death.
there was a big there was a whole storyline that X-Files did in it prior to 9/11 that caused a lot of eyebrow raises that had to do with the abduction of a plane flown into a building.
Oh, that was Lone Gunman.
Oh, it was Lone Gunman.
Lone
Sorry.
Gunman.
But it was related.
Yeah. It is.
Boomer,
Yeah.
you had a question that you wanted to ask.
Oh, I just was curious. Those X-Files sets, did they feel creepy, or is that just the magic of the camera and lighting and stuff like that?
Good question.
I don't know.
Did you hear that, James?
No, I did not.
So he is not hearing us. He's only hearing us through his phone. So I'm going to have to interpret for Aged
That's
Boomer.
fine.
Aged Boomer asked, so when you were on the set of X-Files, is it creepy or is that just the magic of television?
No, it's just the magic of lighting and little fog machines and eerie music and people that are just really too tired to care anymore because they've been up for 16 hours.
Yeah. I would imagine. I have heard, and tell me if you've got any examples of this yourself, James, but I've heard a number of people that I've talked to who've been in different movies and whatnot that have basically said that they've been in, I don't know, say horror movies or whatever, where there was nothing on set that they found scary. Nothing that set the mood for them. And they just had to rely on their acting because, you're doing a job, you're trying to paint a picture for the audience, but no, it's not what you imagine behind the scenes. Has that been your experience, James?
Well, yeah, you got to use your imagination. You got to pretend you see something like a great big pink giant elephant with teeth coming at you. You gotta use your imagination. And a lot of times, when you're doing a scene with somebody, the person that you're actually doing the scene with isn't there, and it's somebody else is maybe reading their lines off camera. And there's all kinds of little weird things, or there might be a teleprompter, and
Sure.
teleprompters are their own little weird piece of technology, because you can the teleprompter operator can make the words go by really fast or really slow.
Oh,
so you have
yeah.
yeah, and that can affect.
I don't know if you had mentioned this earlier. Maria says, please tell James I'm so happy to
I
see
did.
him.
I brought that up.
Okay.
What I did want to bring up real quick was Curtis Selby says, crap, I'll bet YouTube will ding us for that one. I'm not sure what he's referring to, but folks, I am constantly getting demonetized. I am constantly getting dinged by the YouTube overlords. I rely on... when I play the closing credits, and you see those producers, they're basically the only money that I make on YouTube. So if I'm going to make this happen, I need your support. Anything you're willing to do, super appreciate.
Well, what would you get dinged for? I'm not quite getting that.
I don't know. Maybe I said a no word or something. I don't know, but
No, that would be me, and I'm trying to edit myself profoundly.
I haven't caught anything. Of course, I'm a little bit into this Evan Williams, so
No,
I'm a little
I haven't heard.
softer
I
on
haven't
the
heard any
edges.
swearing from our guests. No. Okay.
No. There's been no swearing, and we have. I don't even think we've hit on any topics that YouTube. But you know what? You never know. There doesn't have to be anything like logic when it comes to YouTube. So just saying. But
Okay.
don't worry about it, James. You're fine. If anything real serious happens, I'll edit it in post or I'll whatever. But
Right.
you're doing fine. You are a good professional guy, and definitely worth. You don't have a YouTube channel for people to follow, but definitely check out his IMDb. You will be surprised to find out all the things that James does. Over there on the IMDb. So you have a lot of experience, for example, behind the scenes, behind the camera. You want to talk to us a little bit about what a director of photography does, and some of your other some of the other work you've done on. We're the audience. We don't know when we see the credits go by at the end of a show what all of those things are. Do you want to kind of fill us in on those things?
Well, okay. When you work, it's called below the line, which means your crew, which means you get dirty, which means you get sweaty, which means there's somebody who thinks they're the egotistical maniac of the whole scene, and he's going to yell at you. And I'm the wrong guy to do that usually, because if you start yelling at me, I'm going to be patient. I'm going to give you a little bit of space that you realize that you're not quite realizing what you're doing. And if you keep it up, I'll probably say something like I understand you're having a bad day, but don't yell at me. And if you keep it up, we're going to have a problem, and I don't give a toot who you are.
Right.
And this one guy I used to work with a lot, and he has since sabotaged and suicided his whole business and career by opening his mouth apparently around the wrong people and saying the wrong thing to the wrong guy or something. I didn't quite understand what exactly transpired, but he went from making well over $300,000 every year to making zero within a month.
Ouch.
Yeah. So, but I remember one time, he was trying to tell me how to load the equipment in the van, and I'm like, that doesn't fit that way. You have to put it in this way. And he's like, yes, put it in the way I'm the boss. Put it in the way I want. I said, okay, I'll put it in the way you want. You're the boss. So I did it, and then I had to stop. And he goes, what are you doing? I said, well, you wanted that thing in there this certain way. And now I'm at the point where nothing else, all this other stuff that's outside won't fit in because you wanted it that way. So I remember it was like 12 o'clock at night, and he's yelling at me and stuff. I'm like, you wanted it this way. If you don't like it, you unload the rest of the stuff, and you fix it the way I said now. Yeah. Then everything will fit. And it did. And everybody was laughing at him. But he deserved it. And now karma has bitten him in the butt, and I wouldn't give his life to anybody because he's truly in a really horrible position. His wife makes him sleep in the motorhome outside, for example.
Oh man, I'll tell
You know,
you.
so
You know, we talk about and I don't know if you're a religious kind of guy or if anyone listening is. We talk about karma, but I do believe that a lot of the religious belief we have is based on just common sense and reality. Karma is in my opinion just the natural ramifications of what you do comes back to you. You know, the cause and effect, right? Cause and effect, and I think a lot of us, not to get off on a tangent, and I'm definitely not asking you to comment on this, James, but I think in this modern political climate, we have seen a lot of insanity in the world, and I do think that sanity is starting to reassert and say, you know, people are getting sick and tired of play acting and acquiescing to craziness. Let's get back to what works. They say the basics of economics is sell a product that people want, and you will make money. If you
right,
upset your
and
customer, they will leave you. Which brings me
right,
to another point I wanted to bring about entertainment. We have had a very interesting, let's say, decade or so in entertainment. I think that we have seen a paradigm shift. That's why I'm here on YouTube, and so many others are doing commentary on YouTube. The average citizen is now given the ability to comment on news and entertainment and so forth, and people are actually paying to follow them. And I feel like the entertainment industry is on the losing end of that. Has that
oh,
been your experience, and do you have any thoughts on that? Again, without getting too into the political realm.
well, um, I have a whole lot of comments on it. You said
Yeah,
when we were talking on the phone the other day, you made the very brief, and I think it's overly used. You said something about uh, go woke, go broke, and
yeah.
I have a different one. I don't really like to use that one. I don't think it. Um, I think what applies to everybody more so is no matter what your belief system is, make the honey, get the money.
Yeah, no, that's a very positive way of putting it. Go woke, go broke is a very negative way of saying it, but
Yeah,
your way is more positive.
make something sweet, make some honey. Everybody likes honey. Make something that everybody likes, and you'll get the money, and everybody will have jobs, and everybody will be happy, and everything will be
Yeah,
good. You
is
know,
I
is
definitely, I definitely feel like, and everybody correct me if I'm wrong, but I do feel like 9 times out of 10, the reason things are failing is because the fans don't like it. And I don't care what the reason is. I don't care if it's some political messaging or, whatever it is, or you just don't write a good story. Let me tell you something. This is not an area that I have seen on your IMDb that you've done a lot of work in, James. But here on YouTube, a lot of us are talking about specific franchises that we feel very strongly about, a strong connection to. So
yeah,
we have a lot of history with, and there's a canon and so forth. And these
sure,
writers come in and want to change it and make things all different. And people go, no, that is
right.
not the thing I love. You are an outsider coming in trying to break it. We are not going to see it. And then these people try to use
No, I can
political
name like
message.
4 or 5 things that fall into that category, and
Yeah,
they've managed to try to change it, and the fans are going, no, that's not correct. We don't like where you're going with this.
Yeah.
And we're the ones that crack open our wallets, and we're not
Right.
going to crack open our wallet. And there I can name like in the news recently a couple, 2 or 3 things, just recently. And I read an article about commercials, advertising commercials, and there's like a lot of commercials that have been made in the last few years that the products weren't selling, and the stores weren't doing well either. And so that's changing, or according to this article, it's likely to change.
Yeah.
It's you need to pay your bills, so you need to do something to. You might hate your job. You might be a garbage man, and my garbage man loves his job, by the way. But you might be a garbage man and you hate your job. Well, you work your butt off and save your money and enjoy what you get.
Absolutely. And I think that most people, if you really think about it, folks, you probably don't think much about your mailman, your garbage man. A lot of the people that do the stuff behind the scenes that make your life possible. I'm going to ask you right now, just think about them every now and again. Remember them at Christmas time. Maybe give them a gift certificate or something, and let them know you appreciate them, because you are reaping the comfort benefits of somebody taking your garbage away and bringing you your mail every day, and all these services. Just keep that in mind. But commercials. You have a long history in doing commercials. Am I correct on that, James?
Well, that's what I started off with, wanting to be a stuntman, but also on the acting side, you get a commercial agent, do a few commercials, and go be the guy painting the side of the building, or
sure,
or whatever, and boy, commercials in the 80s used to pay huge amounts of money, but now the commercial advertising, Madison Avenue stuff is all kinds of problems going on in there. And because of the Screen Actors Guild made some foolish mistakes in the past, doing strikes when they shouldn't have. A lot of the producers of commercials will use non-union actors. They'll use union crews, but they'll use non-union actors. So that's money that the Screen Actors Guild doesn't get in its little, dues and little bits and pieces like that.
I'm going to speculate on something, and correct me if I'm off base here, but just as the Joe average spectator who doesn't have any other insight into your industry, I know that Netter and I, for example, aren't really watching terrestrial television anymore. I've got to get this replaced. We aren't even watching terrestrial television anymore. So people will talk about a commercial they saw, and I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't watch TV anymore. There is a huge trend, from my perspective. A lot more people are cutting the cord, not watching cable, not watching regular television, and they're moving to streaming. So yeah, go ahead.
Troy, that gets to another point. Aside from at this point, I think the ridiculousness of battling whether you're a Republican or a Democrat or all this kind of stuff, because that's aside from the point. When what you're beginning to talk about is the studios and YouTube and TikTok and everything like that, and what they're doing, what all those little things are doing, streaming, everything, is they got one thing in common: a battle for eyeballs. It's a battle for an audience.
Yep.
And if you can make something that's entertaining, like a slinky going down the stairways, and people are going to watch it, then that's what they're going to watch. If they got some great TV show with some great little actress in it, and no one knows about it, or no one really particularly likes it, they're going to watch that little slinky going down the stairway.
Yeah.
So it's a battle
Exactly.
for eyeballs, and it's also a big battle for people to write things that are intelligent and not stupid, instead of just writing things for the common lowest denominator, which means the the writing things for an audience that has barely any education, just to get more people to watch it. And
Yeah.
that's not a winning formula in my mind.
I dig it. No, you're
Look at
absolutely right. I dig it.
look at the old movies from the 40s, and and look, and they didn't even know how to really operate. Well, they did, because like John Ford and those guys, they knew how to operate a camera, and they could cut
Yep.
a movie, and they could make
Yep.
everything, and and nowadays it's just people with their phones are out there. It's just insanity. It's anarchy, because
Um,
people just watch anything now.
I'm kind of
And
curious.
all the little, the high school kids have all these little social problems and stuff because they're busy watching nonsense, not
Yep.
being educated. That's my opinion, anyway.
Boomer's got a question. I'm gonna have
Well,
to translate for you.
No, I was just we were talking about Google VO3 last week, and I didn't know if maybe
Right.
how is the industry reacting to it, or if he knows of anything
Okay.
about what that's going on with
So James,
the AI. Yeah.
Aged Boomer is asking a question related to probably a very sensitive question for everyone in your industry right now. The AI revolution. He's talking about a specific platform now where
Google VO.
people.
Yeah.
What is it called? Google. What
Google
again?
VO3. Yes. Yes.
VO3, and what that is it's giving people the ability to create whole action sequences and shows themselves.
Dialogue
using
too.
dialogue,
Yes.
voice, action using AI. Recently, there was I want to say last year this time, maybe a little earlier, more than a year ago. There was a strike going on with the Screen Actors Guild related to AI.
They were
And
worried
the
about
writers
it.
too.
And the writers and whatnot. You got any thoughts or comments about that? Were you involved in that strike at all?
Well, yes and no. I mean, the
In
guilds,
theory, yes, but maybe you weren't out there holding the sign all day long.
Nah, it's like it was like summertime. It's hot. I'm gonna go down there. Gonna give
Especially
me a
in California, right?
Yeah, so I'm gonna go down there. Gonna give me a black T-shirt to wear? I don't think so.
Ouch! I hear you.
So, but yeah, the whole AI thing and computers. I know for a fact that at least 2 studios have been using AI for quite a while in their accounting departments, and
Sure.
and they're going to replace all their accountants and people or bookkeepers and stuff with all these computers.
That isn't
just
funny,
have a few
actually.
people.
Yeah,
And that's just an example. But with the AI, from what I understand, you can sit down, you could write something, and then hit go, and it'll process it in just a matter of a few minutes. It'll create like a little movie for you.
Yeah, Boomer shared with me a little. I don't know. It was a treatment like it was a coming attraction. for
Glider
a new
Man.
show. It was called Glider Man, and honestly, this thing looked really good and really realistic. And it wasn't perfect, but it was like, holy crap! If this improves from here, studios could start using this, and you don't even need actors anymore. It's terrible.
Well,
it's scary.
you don't need actors, you don't need stuntmen, you don't need craft services to feed all these people, you don't need transportation,
Well, that's a good point, right?
you don't need trucks to haul stuff around, you don't need lights, you don't need lighting people, you don't need any of this stuff. You don't really need editors. You color correction can be done virtually instantaneously. There's already and it's been for been a while now, that in Spain there's a modeling agency that has, I think they have 7 AI girls. They're not real people; they're AI girls, and they're absolutely gorgeous, and they make like 70,000 to 100,000 a month. And they're not even real humans.
They're not even real human beings. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of creepy. That is really creepy. It's it's funny because we make sci-fi films. Terminator, and what was that one with the AI girlfriend?
Her.
Her, yeah.
Oh, Blade Runner
We've got
2049. That was another one. Sorry.
Oh, her.
Well, there's that. True. Yeah. What's that gal's name? She's now in the ballerina.
Anna de Armas.
Gosh, she's a babe.
No, the AI girlfriend in her was Scarlett
Johansson?
Johansson. Yes.
No.
Scarlett Johansson. Yeah, exactly. And then speaking of Scarlett Johansson, I saw that somebody made like a robot that looked like her or whatever, and there was a bunch of legal questions about if she had any rights on that. Oh, it's the whole thing is just creepy as all get out. But I want to we've part of the reason we bring that up is because I've done a couple streams recently about AI, and a friend of the channel, Retro Blasting, referenced one of my videos in one of his streams, talking about it's a big area of concern. On the one hand, as viewers, we would like to be able to have access to these tools, to be able to make the fan films we want that Hollywood is not. If for no other reason, it is a way for us to say, these are the stories we want, Hollywood. Do this, and we will consume it. Don't make us have to do it ourselves. On the other hand, the idea of Hollywood using it, right now, the tools they're using poorly, and they're putting out a poor product. Just things like computer graphics, not AI, just basic computer graphics, are so soulless and unreal that people are reacting negatively to them.
I would tend to absolutely agree with that. I do know a guy who, he's like 76 now, this guy, and
Sure.
He's really sharp, and he actually like locked himself away in his apartment for a few months and learned Da Vinci Resolve, and he's like incredible with it now. But
Sure.
he's but that's only one person that's going to do that. Most people are just going to learn a couple little tools and call it good. But yeah, I think cell phones have made people so that their attention span is about as long as a gnat's nose.
Don't even get me started on TikTok and stuff like that.
And so, but what I'm going to say is that because people are looking at these screens all the time, they're not looking at people's faces. They're not picking up the little subtle little cues and nuances and little ticks in their muscles and their face and their eyes and little things like that. And what that is doing, because I've sat in on different acting classes lately, and because this is what the actors in their daily lives are doing, and then they go in and they're trying to face each other and basically communicate a scene to each other, and they don't know what they're looking at. They don't know how to deal with another human being's face and physicality.
James, it's not just the actors, it's the writers, and we as the audience are picking up on that. We're seeing movies coming out with writing that we're like, do you even understand how to human? That's
Madam
what
Web.
we're saying.
Madam Web.
Yeah. Madam Web is a great example of that. Yes, great example.
But these people they don't know how to interact.
No,
they're growing up that way. They're literally growing up that way, walking down the sidewalk and stepping in manholes. Probably.
James, I do want to pivot, and and if you read between the lines, I think you'll know where I'm going with this. Get a little bit personal. Your career, you put it on pause just recently. Do you want to talk a little bit about what's been going on in your life, and we'll get into that again. A little bit personal, but you want to share with us?
Yeah, I suppose.
As you feel comfortable. Don't whatever
Yeah,
whatever you feel like.
my mom recently passed away. It's been
I understand.
like 2 weeks, and she was diagnosed with bladder cancer, and the oncologist guy, he recommended. My mom was 90 years old,
Yeah.
but she's like walk with a cane,
Mm-hmm.
drive to the store and buy stuff and read books, and
Yep.
and then she didn't have any Alzheimer's or nothing, and she was like, people always thought she was like, literally like in her late 60s, because
Sharp
she
as a
didn't.
tack. Yeah.
Yeah, she just and so they gave her half of one dose of chemo plus some radiation,
Sure.
and she reacted really bad, and her kidneys shut down. And my brother called me up. He's like, I don't know what's going on. So I rushed over there and I took her to the hospital on March the 3rd, and I ended up spending the next 77 days, 12 to 14 hours every day by her side.
Yeah.
To make her and protect her from these. I almost was expressive. These people who pretend to call themselves doctors, and
I hear you.
educated themselves. Looked up some of them. They were like educated in like some medical school in Moldova or something. It's like, and they walk around. I told several of them, I was like, I got hot because these people have no common sense. I told them, I said, I can get a white little lab coat off of eBay for $20 too, and be very impressed with myself. I literally told them, and I told them a lot of other things too.
Yeah.
And they would have killed my mom sooner than the 77 days, because they were literally like one of these servants of the devil.
Yeah.
Literally, the second day my mom was in there, he leaned in and he goes, "Shirley, would you like to go to a hospice?" And I looked at him. I said, "You're a death pusher." And he took his hand and he stuck it in my face, like, "Shut up." And I said, "Don't you put your hand in my face. Don't you tell me to shut up." I said, and he goes, "Well, she's my patient." I said, "Well, you know what? She's my mom." And what I was thinking in my head was basically, you'll be lucky that you're in a hospital right now if you keep it up, pal. And he backed off.
I hear you.
And some of the other stuff, the nurses by and large in the hospitals they do a lot of stuff, and they're pretty wonderful. And, I wouldn't want to be a nurse. Their job is pretty rough, but by and large, a lot of them would come up to me and they say, "It's really good that you're here every day and being an advocate for your mom." And I talked to them about these doctors, and even the nurses had no great respect for the doctors.
I hear you.
I got to a point where, these doctors would come in, a different doctor every week. I go, "Oh, it's Monday. What's your name, sir?" "Oh, you're the doctor of the week, so you're going to be in here for like 3 to 5 minutes every day all week. And you're going to think you know my mom,
And
but
you're gonna bill us. Yeah.
And then at the end of the week, after like on Thursday or Friday, you're going to start winding down for the weekend, And then another doctor is going to come in on Monday, and we're going to start all over again.
All over again. Exactly.
Playing phone tag. I said, you know what phone tag is, doctor? I said, it's what you guys do. And then another doctor, he said to me, he says, so what's your, I almost said the name of the hospital.
Yeah.
What's your experience been like here? I said, are you serious? I said, he goes, yeah. I said, what's my experience been like here? I said, you seriously want to know? He goes, yeah. I said, I'll tell you this. I said, the Nazis would be proud. I said, you're running a death camp here. I heard 2 of your doctors outside in the hall say that anybody over 65 should be put out of their misery if they have cancer, so that they don't eat up all the Social Security.
James, you just hit on exactly, I wasn't intending to get political with this, but folks, if you want to understand the medical establishment, do a Google search on Buck v. Bell, and remember that is still on the books. The German National Socialists, all the horrible things they did, they learned from us because of Buck v. Bell. Look it up. And then tell me that you are going to defer to your doctor, and you're going to wear a mask, and you're going to take the shot, and you're going to do whatever they say because they wear white lab coats. What James is describing is absolutely true. They want you dead. If you are autistic, if you are mentally retarded, if you are over a certain age, if you are under a certain age, they want you dead.
And Troy, it's about quality of what they call quality of life. And some of these guys, these supposed doctors, I say quality of life.
They think they can decide for you what is quality.
I told him it's subjective. I told this guy, it's subjective, it's not objective. I said, you can't decide what I like to look at. I might like to stare at the window and look at the duck every day. And that might be my happiness every day. I said, somebody else might like to be, like to have kids. One of the nurses told me that the kids on her football team, there's 2 kids that are 10 years old that are over 300 pounds. I said, well, how are they going to live their life? She goes, I don't know. She goes, as they get older, they're going to have all kinds of problems. I said, yeah. I said, I said, that's terrible. But yeah, your quality of life is for you to decide, not somebody else. And they literally told me, well, your mom's 90. She's had a good life. I said, yeah, and I want 4 or 5 more years with her because she's a wonderful, wonderful person.
4 or 5 more years? My gosh, I would give anything for 1 more day with my grandmother.
Yeah.
Don't get in my face and tell me you get to decide because you wear a white lab coat. Folks, let me tell you something. I've literally, just by broaching this subject, I can guarantee that this stream is getting demonetized. So anything you can do to support, I would greatly appreciate. But where what's even more important than supporting this channel today, I'm going to drop a link right now. For all of you that have been offering condolences to James, actions speak a lot louder than words. I just dropped a link to a GoFundMe.
I already pinned it to the top of my chat.
Thank you very much. For James, he is trying to raise the money just to pay for funeral costs for his grandmother. We have this very, very skewed idea that because somebody is what we think of as a celebrity, we've seen them on a TV show, or they've worked behind the scenes, because they have fame, they have fortune, and that is not true. James is one of us. He's a work-a-day kind of guy, just trying to live paycheck to paycheck, in a very, very difficult industry. I hope that has come across in the past 2 hours.
I was out there pulling weeds myself this morning.
There you go. See, those man hands exist because he has worked with his hands, right? He is not a wealthy person. I have mentioned this on previous streams. Famous people, beautiful women who are on the cover of magazines for a decade, appearing in Playboy, and are these big starlets. 10, 20, 30 years on, are living in campers and broke. I'm talking about specific women that we loved in Twin Peaks, that I keep in communication with, that are starting GoFundMe's just to get by. Guys, you don't understand what a challenge it is. Everybody has their challenges, so I'm asking you, if you would consider trying to help out James. Just to put his mom to rest, put your money where your mouth is, I guess is what I'm saying. I'm not trying to be heavy-handed with you, but if you're going to offer the condolence, actions speak so much louder than words. He needs your help. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you, sweetie.
I wanted to do like the full-on traditional funeral, and then I found out that costs like between $30,000 and $40,000. All right, so I'm thinking
it's more than the cost of a car.
Oh, I literally thought of that. I was like, so I'm going to go out and buy a nice used car and bury it in the ground.
Yeah.
Like, and so just to have a simple cremation.
Yeah.
Up the road here at the Catholic, cemetery, and it all looks pretty and nice and stuff over there.
Sure.
But they're high, so I've been calling around and trying to find other places and stuff, and at this point, I'd like to just be able to buy some lemonade and some iced tea and some cookies and maybe have a nice memorial service in someone's backyard.
Get together with some friends and family but you still have to have the disposition and stuff. And it's PJ is saying California is nuts, and he's not wrong. But this is the death industry, is what I call it. This is true everywhere. It is true in Illinois. It is true in New York. It is true everywhere. It costs so much to die. That is ridiculous.
And
when people are hurting the most, they want to fleece them for as much money as they can. Right.
I did have the thought this morning that there's two events in people's lives. One of them's out of the control, and the other one is where they get just nailed. Is if they get married. Some of these people have spent just like extraordinary amounts of money just to have like some big party for the day for everybody else to have, and then they end up with the debt of like, I don't know, how much does a wedding cost? $100,000.
Thousands and thousands of dollars. Yeah.
It's another point of ridiculousness that people do. But yeah, you're right. When someone dies, first it's a shock. And I'm still like, I don't know what to do. I'm terrified with all this stuff that I got to try to figure out every day right now. And on March the 3rd, my brother, my mom, and me got basically hit by a bus, and our lives have been changed.
Yeah.
And I look at people driving around, and they're doing their thing, and I realize that some of them, their parents have passed away, or their brothers or sister, and everybody does. Okay, God is going to take all of us, each one of us, whether we like it or not. It's going to happen. And
you could try to live forever, but you're going to die trying. Yeah.
And we're going to be unprepared for it. By and large, I guess, someone like, some, I don't know, Johnny Carson was probably prepared for it, because he had tons of money. But, for most people, when I'm looking around, I don't think anybody even, first of all, I don't think they have a clue that, a rock can hit them in the head and that's it. Or they can get a fight at a nightclub and fall down and hit themselves on the curb, and that's it. And then your whole life, your whole family's life is utterly changed instantly.
Completely upended. You weren't prepared for it. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just.
Yeah, I hear you, James. And so, again, folks, look, here's the other thing, too. If you can, and thank you, Netter. This is why I married you. You are the better part of our partnership here. Netter donated just now, and
Oh, thank
we're
you.
struggling too because I'm out of work. I'm trying to make the YouTube thing pay off, and
Right.
yet she's finding a way to share as much as she can. So there's really
Thank
no
you.
excuses, folks. If you have any compassion, and you please, just a few dollars would go a long way. And look, even if you can't, even if you have $0 to share, take that link and share it out on your social medias. Make the plea. Reach as many people as you can. We help each other. That's what we do because we're human. Okay?
Yeah.
So
I'll
do
say-
the thing. Okay?
I'll add something else. If no matter if you can, I appreciate it and I say thank you. If you can't, then just try and do a good deed for somebody tomorrow.
That's awesome, James. That's a great heart that you have. Real quick, I kind of want to wrap this up because I didn't even have a chance to touch base with Agent Boomer to see how much time he had tonight.
Oh no, I don't have to work tomorrow. It's okay.
Oh, you don't have to work tomorrow, but I do have to get up for.
Right. I am
going to be on. I am going to be on Real Wade Nation Gaming Clips tomorrow, so I do want to not go too late. But I want to reiterate what I said at the beginning of this little segment and say that. And James probably doesn't see himself this way, but I had a celebrity on my stream tonight, and celebrity means you might know who he is because he's a little bit famous. That does not equate to wealth. I don't want to throw around other names, but as I said, the very beautiful, very statuesque femme fatale of Twin Peaks. If you follow her on Instagram, and you saw her in Playboy, and you saw her on the cover of so many magazines, and you saw her in so many movies, and you think she is so famous and so wealthy. She's a single mom, living day to day, barely getting by. You guys don't understand. You think that these people are very, very wealthy, and even those that did have a great deal of success and did end up with a great deal of wealth. You know, I'm looking at you, Blake Lively, married to Deadpool. You know, you guys made some choices that might very, very quickly turn your fortunes around.
Yeah.
So wealth is fleeting, and some of the people that you're following in the entertainment industry never had a great deal of wealth to begin with. They're working people, working behind the scenes, you know, working with their hands, paycheck to paycheck. So let's be human, let's be kind. Let's help each other. Okay, that's really the message that I wanted to get across. James, is there anything that you can share right now about? I don't want you to share anything that you can't share. Any plans for the future? Any projects you're working on that we can look forward to, or should we just be following you on X and support you on your next project?
Well, you just, oh boy.
That was a big question, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was. Just give me a little bit of psychic energy and keep me pushing along. Because right now I do have a commercial agent, but I need to get a theatrical agent again.
Yeah.
They're so fickle. But,
I get it.
Yeah, and I got a email from SAG-AFTRA today that they want. They want everybody, all the members, to support these two bills that are up there in Sacramento for Gavin Newsom to sign and support keeping jobs for the industry in California. As far as my comment on that, first of all, it's not a gigantic amount of money. I mean, it is. It's a lot of money, but it's not as far as the industry is concerned.
Sure.
But if you want jobs to stay in California, stop penalizing industry. Stop charging for every little permit and fee, and that goes for the city and council, the mayor of Los Angeles too. Just make it so that it's easy to do stuff instead of...
Look at this, James. PJ is saying, man hands for governor.
Man hands for governor. Okay, yeah, let's do it.
Because Newsom is an idiot, he is saying. Although, let's give credit where credit... Well, given what he's done, I'm not sure how much credit is due, but he's starting to come around. He's starting to see the problem. And he's willing to work with the current administration, but look, Newsom is not the problem. He is the symptom. I'm gonna put blame squarely on the California electorate. They not only voted for him, they confirmed him in 2 recalls. So right. California gets what they deserve.
But you know what? Let me remind you, though, that Ronald Reagan was a Democrat, and he became president of the Screen Actors Guild, and he also became governor of California, and he became president of the United States. Pete Wilson was a Republican governor of California, George Deukmejian, and, I hesitate to add Arnold Schwarzenegger because really I've met him. I've met him a few times. I really
no, you don't have to go any further than that. Yeah.
I can't really honestly say what he is, except that he's for himself.
I dig it.
Fun.
Get to the chopper. Yeah.
Yeah, but what happened in California basically is that for some reason in the late '80s. There was an economic crunch nationwide, and a lot of people from the East moved to California, and a lot of other things happened in California. And it changed. The state changed, and that goes for Arizona and New Mexico as well. And it hasn't changed back. There are like little signs that show that people are kind of having a little what I'll call common sense because of their pocketbook. They're going, wait a minute, where's all my money going? Okay, and I think it'll be a while for California to reverse to where it was.
I agree.
I don't know if it can.
Quick. Let me interrupt you real quick to get to this comment from Mark Dahley. He says, is Newsom working with the current administration, or is he pretending to? No, I think he is pivoting. He's playing the political game. He realizes, as many Americans do, that the current administration won the popular and the electoral election. Right? He's in the majority. The majority of people support the current administration. Also, you've got to be a complete idiot not to realize that California, if they don't change what they're doing, they're going to friggin' go broke. We have many people in the entertainment industry leaving California to move to Georgia and to Texas and to everywhere else. And California will go broke if they don't change what they are doing.
There's another thing that happened in Los Angeles back at the beginning of January, and that was the fires. And
Yep.
that burned up a lot
Yep.
of millionaire people's Palisades.
Which, whether you believe it or
homes.
not, has specifically to do with many of the choices that California's government made. The allocation of water rights and all this kind of stuff, and conservation decisions. Just saying.
Well, a lot of those people, I met one a couple of weeks ago. I met this lady, super nice, and I was watching her, and she just had all this energy and great spirits. And I talked to her. I said, I was watching you, and you're just real, you're just a great spirit. And she started to cry. And I was like, what's wrong? She said, thank you. She said, you don't understand, though. I said, well, what? She said, I lost everything in the fire. My whole house burned up. Everything burned up. And she says, so now even the notes she had pinned to her refrigerator, every single thing that she had is gone.
Yep.
And she said it's only, God, this is hard to get out. She said it's only been through the generosity of other people and the Salvation Army giving her clothes and stuff that she's able to just realize that there are good people.
Yeah, and just keep in mind when your state government is making decisions that result in the loss of everything for you. Do you want to rebuild in that state, or do you want to get out of that state? And if you get out of that state, are you going to continue to vote for the same people that effed up the state that you just left? Just my little political 2 cents. I am going to highly recommend you follow James Rekart on X. You can find him under James Manhand's Rekart. But you know what? There's another person I'm going to recommend, someone I'll probably never get to speak to, but she is a good person to follow as well. That's Justine Bateman. Justine Bateman has a good head on her shoulders, too. You want to follow her on X as well. She is a huge proponent for the industry, and she's a little bit more grounded than you might suspect from people in the industry.
And she's got quite an education in computer science, so she knows about AI stuff very well.
And this is, I'm going to admit, I kind of give Netter grief for doing this as well, but I do it too. You tend to look at celebrities and think of them in terms of the role they play, and that's incredibly unfair, because Justine Bateman played Mallory on Family Ties, and her character was
dumb.
She was dumb. Yeah, there's really no nice way to say it. She played dumb, but she, as a human being, is not dumb. She is very sharp, and I was shocked. I was shocked by this. She's good people, and if you're not following her, you're missing out. She'd actually be another one that I would recommend those of you on the left coast consider her for governor as well if she ever decided to run. Just saying. But anyway, James, was there anything else? We want to have you back sometime, James, but I also definitely want to get you on Netter's channel as well. Netter does a show on Thursday nights in the same time slot called Thursday Things, where she specifically interviews people and talks. And I think there's a couple of topics that we didn't get to tonight that might be good for you guys to talk about on Thursday, if you're willing, if you're open to that.
Sure, it sounds fun to me. I like, this little chit chat stuff.
You're kind of getting into this whole YouTube streaming thing, right? So was there anything specific tonight that I didn't cover that you just want to make sure you said or mentioned before we end the stream?
No, I want people to stop saying go broke, go woke, go broke. I want people to start saying make the honey, get the money.
I like that. That's a very positive way of looking at it. I like that.
And I think that covers for everybody, because everybody will improve, and everybody will if they got a couple extra bucks, they can, buy a hamburger instead of having to split a hamburger nowadays.
James makes a great point here, folks. I think the era of woke is over anyway. So I think the whole get woke, go broke thing is dated now. I think it is time to move on to make the honey, make the money. That's
like I said, that covers everybody, no matter who you are. Just
timeless, a timeless thought.
Have a little quality into your work, and things will improve.
Look at this. Look at this. Mark Dahley says Troy and Netter have the friendliest corner of YouTube. You bring me close to tears with that, Mark Dahley, because I kind of feel like some of the screeds I get off on sometimes really border on the negative and the frustrated. But if you feel that way, and if that is a common feeling from the audience, it's incredibly encouraging, and I really appreciate it. I want to be like that. I want to be a voice of positivity, and I don't feel like I am enough. So thank you for saying that. James Rekart, guys, linked below is his IMDb. In your free time, just take a peruse through it, and you will be shocked. You'll see all the things that he's done, all the shows that he's been in, and you're like, I don't remember. Well, maybe go back and check out those shows. And when you see all the things that he did behind the scenes, we'll talk more about that on Netter's Network. We'll talk a little bit more about the behind the scenes and what goes into making a show that you don't even see on camera. That's important stuff.
Can I do a little?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Brag.
Yeah.
I have a friend of mine. He's a very good friend of mine, and he used to be a Navy SEAL instructor, and he's done some stunt work and stuff. And I used to ask him, Johnny, why don't I want to work with you? I want to do some stuff. And he's like, well, and I was I think 54 at the time, and he's like, well, you need to get you need to be certified as a lifeguard, because you don't have that. I'm like, okay. So without telling him, I went and I signed up, and I didn't even train, which was naive of me. So I had to swim like 200 yards in the cold water, and I made it. Meanwhile, all these other people in the class are like 16 and 18 and 22, and they're looking, what are you doing here? I'm like, well, I want to work with a buddy of mine on these movies and stuff. They're like, okay, whatever. And so anyway, so I got certified eventually, and after two weekends, full weekends, and I emailed him the certification, and he called me up, and this is from a Navy SEAL instructor. And he goes, you did this. You didn't tell me you were going to do this. I said, no. He goes, and it's still, even right now, it means a lot to me. From a Navy SEAL instructor to a guy who was like 54, he goes, I'm very proud of you. And so then he hired me to do a couple of things for him. And he's like, you're nuts, And I said, yeah. Well, so what? And he's like, but right now, Johnny just had, because of his career as a Navy SEAL, he's just yesterday he had to go to the hospital, and he had problems with his equilibrium and all the concussions he sustained, and they had to put a tube in his head to let some sort of liquid come out, so because it was over pressurizing, it couldn't walk. So if you could,
Yeah.
like, people could say a little prayer for Johnny to get strong.
Oh, fair enough.
That'd be great.
Wow. Yeah.
Dude, I'm gonna real quick. I don't normally do this. I have not in a very long time talked to the big cat at the top of the stairs, but I'm gonna do something I've never done on stream before, and I'm gonna lead us in a prayer. Father in heaven, I want to pray for James Rekart's friend. He's a Navy SEAL who has served his country, and he needs your attention. And I put this petition to you because you promise, lay your request before you, and then wait with expectation for your answer. And I need my faith built in that way. Father in heaven, we ask for your healing, we ask for your attention and your blessing. And we ask this in the name of Jesus Christ, your Son, who lives and reigns. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Real quick, I want to thank Mr. House Party 6. I don't recognize this name. I don't know if you've been here before under a different name or whatever.
Mr. House Party 6 has been on my channel a couple of times.
Okay,
in the chat.
fair enough. You're over on Netter's channel. You dropped two $10 chats, and I don't see a comment here. If there is a comment you intended to make, please go ahead and drop that comment, and I will read it. You don't have to drop another super chat. And if you did not intend to do two $10 super chats, let me know. We'll find out what we have to do to reimburse you. But thank you very much for $2. You didn't have to give $2 to say amen to that prayer.
He said $2. He did $10.
Amen from JPR PH1 and from Orville Nation. Thank you, my friends, for praying with me. I super appreciate that. Please also subscribe to PJ's other channel, Inspiration Television. PJ, if I'm not mistaken, you have a blue wrench. You can drop the link to your Inspiration Television. That is a great channel that is woefully undersubbed, needs to be supported more, so please do so. That, I think, is going to be our show for tonight. Panelists, if I've missed anything, please let me know. James, was there anything else that you wanted to share before we end tonight? We will have you back here. We will also have you back on Netter's Network if you are so inclined to join us.
I can't really think of anything.
Fair enough.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting me. It is wonderful. To anybody who contributed to my GoFundMe thing, I sincerely thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of our members did donate.
Good. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. One more time, I'm going to drop that link real quick for everybody to check out. You know what? Go to it and just pin it.
I have a pin to the top of my chat too.
No. Well, yes.
I mean, to make it easy
but
to
what I
find.
mean is, go ahead and bookmark that. If you can't afford it right this week, maybe next week, whatever you can do would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, that's true.
Thank you so much, James. Age of Boomer. James, I know you can't hear Age of Boomer, but Age of Boomer, was there anything that I missed tonight that you wanted to? Any questions for James? I'm sorry, I've kind of talked over you a lot tonight.
No, it's okay. I think I got out what I was curious about.
Okay.
There's a lot of changes going on at Hollywood, and
Fair enough.
I'm sure we'll have more questions.
We'll have a
as time
lot
goes
more
on.
questions
Yeah.
for James in the future.
Yeah.
Netter, any last thoughts? Any last words?
I want to thank all of our family members that
Family members, get that? Family
have
members
donated for James' mom.
Yep.
Yeah, I know it means a lot to James, and just me seeing the names is really nice.
Thanks so much to everybody
Thank you.
who has pulled together, because this community is the greatest. I really want to be able to keep doing this because you guys are so wonderful. Deleted Scene says, great show. Thank you so much, James. Thank you, Troy, Netter, and Boomer. Good night. Take care. Stay strong. Be safe and healthy, because this is how we win. Yeah, we're winning the culture war, and we're winning just in general. Oh my gosh, Mr. House Party 6, you are so generous. Can
Hank might do my pony party or what?
I'm sorry, buddy. I'm not understanding. I'm just not up on the lingo. And after $30 worth of super chats, I want to be able to to do honor to whatever your request is. If you can rephrase, and again, you don't have to give a super chat to clarify. Netter will keep an eye on the chat if you want to clarify what your request was. Guys, yeah, you know what? I think I want to thank everybody, and I'm gonna ask Bruce to do it for me.
Thank you.
Sorry, guys, I'm on the wrong tabs here. I'm having a little bit of a technical difficulty too. I got to learn how to do this whole YouTube thing. I'm not as professional as I want to be, so we'll get better going forward. Anyway, James, I want to thank you so much. Stick with us. We will say our proper goodbyes in the studio after the closing credits. Age of Boomer and Netter, thank you so much for taking care of me and helping my drunk ass get through this stream. You guys are wonderful, and thank you everyone there in the chat. Yeah, Geekflex says, Troy, you're drunk. Yes, I am. It's time to end the stream. So thank you guys so much. You take care. Stay strong. This is how we win, as Deleted Scene says. Salute, and I'll see you on the next one.
Good night, ladies.
Good night, sir.
Hit it, sweetheart.
The neon lights are fading, closing time is near. Whispers in the corners, secrets shared sincere. The bartender's polishing the final glass. Time slips away like moving through the grass. Last call for alcohol, make your dreams come true. One more round, friends, from me and you. Let's toast to the night, to the stories we've spun. Here's to the laughter and to what's begun. The shadows are dancing as we linger still. Every clink of a glass, a memory to distill. Beneath this smoky haze, our feelings they unfurl. A tapestry of whispers in this corner of the world. The jukebox serenades us with a final tune, crooning to the lonely and the lovers under the moon. With every soft note, the end draws ever near. But in this fleeting moment, there's nothing to fear. Last call for alcohol, make your dreams come true. One more round, friends. libations for me and you. Let's toast to the night, to the stories we